Sabrina Sargent from Home Care Assistance of Rhode Island, coming to you today with the senior tip of the day. This one's actually about coping mechanisms. Now, what exactly are coping mechanisms? It's our way and our strategies of how people often use to face stressful or traumatic situations. Coping mechanisms help to manage painful and difficult emotions that we might be going on, and like those emotional spikes that we might end up having. So why it's important that we do different little activities like this and to try and create some happy is these skills help a person to process what's happening and how they feel, and to help create those wonderful times of their lives. So one activity that we as interventionists, cognitive interventionists, but also as care assistants at Home Care Assistants of Rhode Island that we do is we have this wonderful program called the Cognitive Therapeutic Methods Interventions. And in it, we have what we call our social reminiscence. So social reminiscing, that's when we think about things in the past and we can bring up wonderful memories. So one thing is actually about favorite games. So the first question is what's your favorite childhood game? Let's think about that. What would be my favorite childhood game? If I had to think about it, I would say it was playing Candyland as a family and all the wonderful things of taking turns and, you know, some of the memories that we had when we would giggle, when we would land on certain characters. So that would be maybe one of my most favorite childhood games. Second question is, do you have any fond memories of a particular game you used to play that you remember from your childhood? Let's think about this and discuss it. 3, did you prefer board games, card games, or any other type of game like hide and seek or jump rope or any other types of games like that that might be played outside or inside? Number 4, are you competitive? And if so, what do you like about playing games and about being competitive or not competitive? Do you like being the spectator of games? Our next one would be about natural disasters. Now, natural disasters kind of sounds like a kind of like sad time possibly in our lives, but this is also another way of working through our coping mechanisms and working through some of our feelings. So the first one is have you ever been in a natural disaster? If so, what kind and how many? The natural disaster that I remember was actually Hurricane Bob back in like 1993. And I remember being at home and there being no school, kind of like what's happening now. And it was for about a week, almost 2 weeks. And I remember there being like lots of wind. I was in 3rd grade and it was a pretty scary time for me. And yet I knew that we were gonna get through it, and we did, and my mom and dad helped us get through it. Another question would be, what famous natural disasters do you remember? Number 3, when you were in school, did they have drills to practice in case of a natural disaster? If so, what did you do during these practices? What did it look like? What did it feel like? And the last question, have you seen any movies in which a natural disaster occurs? If so, what was the name of that movie? What happened in that movie? Who was in that movie? And how did that make you feel? Hopefully some of these activities about social reminiscence will help you with some of your coping mechanisms during this hard time, and will maybe bring some happiness and bring some wonderful memories. Thank you and have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this activity.